What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. On this episode, we are getting the electric truck on the ground. Last time we put the wheels on the truck, we cut the arches, we got everything ready for the wide body kit, so it's gonna take a little bit to get it going. But we have a ton of work to do on this truck before we even worry about aesthetics. The chassis is done. The chassis table is really only providing a work surface right now. And this thing's super low, so getting it on the ground is gonna be a lot easier for me and Donnie since we're vertically challenged. And like I said, I want to see this thing on the ground. I want to see how aggressive it looks. But first thing we need to do, we got to get the struts done. We got to get our fake struts. So we're going to use 1-inch tubing, and we're going to actually weld a fake strut from the bottom of the lower control arm up here to the frame rail, and the same in the back. And what that's going to do is it's going to basically freeze our ride height where it is right now. And then we're going to cut these braces that we did for our front and rear subframes. We're going to cut those loose so that the truck is not welded to the chassis table anymore. Then we'll be able to jack it up with a floor jack, get the lift arms underneath it with the 2-post lift, and then this thing's going to just raise up.
What was that?
I want to get this bumper kind of situated so it doesn't fall off the front of the truck when we cut it loose. Got a couple more things I got to weld up in here, and then we should be able to get this thing off and get it on the ground. So stick around, guys, because we're gonna have this thing on the ground. We're gonna really see how low it can go. So our brackets are all set. As you can see, it's got a threaded bung with an angle. We're gonna go ahead and weld it right here. All right, so we have our braces welded in. Everything looks pretty good. These are, of course, removable. This is now solid with this cross member that's holding up the core support. Next step is to cut these support braces off, and then we're going to head over to the lower control arms, and we're going to make some braces on the lower control arms here to simulate where our coilovers are gonna go. This is gonna set our ride height, like I said before. We're gonna be using this 1-inch tubing. We got a really long stick of it, so we're gonna use that stuff up. I'm gonna weld these up right now while Donnie does the back. All right, we have our front struts in place. As you can see, these things are all just welded in there. These are just temporary guys to hold the front end up. But Donnie had to get a little more creative in the back, didn't you, Donnie?
Oh yeah, check this out, guys.
So the rear's got a Tesla, as you know, Tesla rear end IRS. As opposed to the Corvette, the lower control arm at the very bottom is where the shock mount is. On the Tesla, it's on the very top. So Donnie made a clothing rack so that you're gonna be able to hang your clothes out to dry on that bad boy?
Yeah, I just figured it worked. It was easier to make. So that lateral load that comes up is going to tie into the frame. It's going to go straight up.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of actually probably the geometry we're going to use when we use the push rod.
Yeah, so this bar right there, guys, is pushing up on this bar, and then that lower that's tying into the chassis is stopping it from just completely going up and out of nowhere. So this is gonna hold the truck, believe it or not, at ride height in the back, and then we have our supports in the front. This is just to get it on the ground so we can get the ride height and get everything situated, and the KW coilovers, once they come in, we'll be able to tie those in.
Dude, I am fired up. I want to get this thing on the ground.
I want to get on the ground too. Let's do it. In order to cut this thing free, as I said before, we have these braces right here. So this vertical and that vertical, there's 4 of them on either end of the chassis. So I'm going to cut a 1-inch scab out of this guy, and then there's 2 at the back, and then we have to go to the rear IRS, and then there's 4 back there as well. Once we cut all 8 of those free, the truck should be completely free of the table, and then we'll be able to jack up the front and position our supports for our lift and get the truck off the chassis table. All right, this thing's loose. Now the fun part, we get to roll this giant thing across the shop.
Oh my God.
Over there.
It weighs like 6,000 pounds.
Yeah, it weighs a lot. Let's get it unlocking.
1, 2, 3.
See that, bro?
That's impressive.
I'm the only guy back here moving in. This shit moving like nothing. Must have been the Chipotle.
It's Chipotle.
I told you it's heavy. Dude, we're probably gonna put the truck in there. It's just gonna fold in half. That's no win.
It's no win. I could barely catch it, but.
Perfect. You tighten the bolts all on the battery, right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Oh, yeah, because we did a whole day of that.
All right, go ahead.
You're moving, Donald.
Yeah. Oh, is that thing looking sketchy?
All right, go ahead and drop it like it's hot. Ooh, lift arm just went whack. Rise, my child! Keep going up. What are you scared of? Look at that. Completely flat underneath. No transmission, no drive shaft. It's dropping on its wheels.
I wonder if the wheels will even touch the floor once I put the lift on the ground.
All right.
Probably not.
That's how you know you have a little truck. Well, it was nothing short of a miracle, but we got the truck on the ground. And whenever a truck gets on the ground, we do the ceremonial, take pictures as much as possible. What are you doing, man?
Look how short I am.
Yeah, it's like built for you.
I need to put the pedals like up here.
This thing is on the ground. How's it feel in there?
Dude, this thing feels sick.
This truck looks awesome.
Oh my God.
Looks so cool. What are we doing next episode, Donny?
All right, next episode, I gotta finish the interior. Then I have to work to the front, making out some closeouts. And then we're doing the roll cage, baby.
Ooh, a roll cage. We doing chrome molly or mild
Doing
steel?
chrome molly. We gotta keep the weight down because this thing is starting to turn into a heifer.
Yeah, it's getting a little heavy. Next episode, guys, we are focusing on the interior. Like Donny said, we're going to be building a roll cage, finishing up the suspension, getting all these bits figured out. Now, the lower half of the chassis is really important, but this roll cage is going to have a really big role in making sure that this chassis is tied together and looking its best and also performing as good as it can. I'm going to focus on the front end. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and comment below. Let me know what you guys think of how this thing looks so far. It is on the ground. It's pretty low. Can we go lower? Let me know. We'll see you later. Bye.
We need cup holders though.
Oh, you're gonna get them, buddy.